All right, y'all. Georgie here from GSD with Georgie, back with the first episode of the Allow Me to Reintroduce Myself mini series. So in this first episode, I'm going to start where everyone or most people are currently right now, and that is knowing Georgie as the virtual event expert or event expert. So in the last 2, maybe 3 years, you've come across me through either virtual events, and maybe right before the pandemic, maybe some in-person events or workshops that I was doing around New York City. And I'll tell you how I got into virtual events. So I got into virtual events a couple years ago, back in actually 2016, 17, when I was the lead instructor, program manager for the Global Startup Ecosystem Virtual Accelerator. But here's where my role came in. I was the instructor, so the person that would be coaching and teaching these entrepreneurs about entrepreneurship in this virtual accelerator program. Was a virtual business accelerator. So that was my role. And from there, I'm like, whoa, virtual events are so important. And I started studying virtual events because right before the pandemic hit, I actually was building a virtual accelerator venue / program. So that was called Doer Labs. And that program has since changed, and I've done little pieces of it. TBD on what's going to happen with Doer Labs. But because of the work that I did with understanding how to bring people together for entrepreneurial and business-based events and workshops online, I started to really understand what made up a good virtual event, what platforms we're using for virtual events, webinars, conferences. But my underlying goal and mission was to help people better connect with entrepreneurs, business people, and technologists. That's why I got into virtual events, because that's who I am. At my core, I'm an entrepreneur that loves technologies. And from a very young age, I've just been really passionate about computers, technology, how it works, and looking at things and systems and saying, hey, how can we break that down to make it simpler to understand, teach it to everyone, and then allow other people to learn it, train it, and all that good stuff. So that's where I got into virtual events. So if you've known me for the last 2 years, maybe 3 years, you've come across me in many of these areas, whether it was doing hop-in, Remo, or some other type of tutorial and workshops. But that is kind of how you've discovered me.